Hi, welcome back to Beyond Classroom. This is Surya. In the previous videos, we learned how true, false, not given, and yes, no, not given questions work. Now, it's time to tackle the single distinction that cost students more reading marks than any other: telling false or no apart from not given. Get this right, and both question types become far safer. Let's break the trap open. Why does this matter so much? Because false or no and not given feel almost identical to our brains. In both cases, you don't choose true or yes. So, many students start treating them as the same answer, but they're actually complete opposites. One is contradiction, the other is silence. Mixing them up is one of the most common ways to lose marks in IELTS reading. Here is the whole distinction in a nutshell. False or no means the text flatly contradicts the statement, and you can physically point to the exact words that disagree. Not given means the text is totally silent. There is simply nothing there to either confirm or contradict it. Contradiction on one side, silence on the other. They feel similar, but they are opposite. So, here is the golden test to use every single time. Ask yourself, can I point to words in the passage that explicitly disagree with this statement? If the answer is yes, it's false or no. If you look for a contradiction and can't find one, the answer is not given. And this clears up one of the most common IELTS reading misconceptions. If the passage doesn't say it is true, the answer must be false. Remember that not stated is not the same as contradicted. If you cannot find the disagreement, the answer is always not given. Let's put it to the test with a true, false, not given example. Read this short text. The QWERTY keyboard layout was patented by Christopher Scholes in 1878 and is still used on most devices today. A widespread belief holds that it was designed to slow typists down. In reality, it was meant to stop the metal arms of early typewriters from jamming. Several rival layouts have since been created, and some are praised by enthusiasts, but none has managed to displace QWERTY from everyday use. Pause the video here, decide on your answers, and most importantly, try to point to the words that prove it. Let's check your answers. Statement 1. Christopher Scholes invented the typewriter itself. The passage says he patented the QWERTY layout. It never says he built the actual machine. There are no words to point to that say he didn't. So the answer is not given. Statement 2. QWERTY was created to reduce typing speed. This one you can point to. The text calls the slowdown idea a mere belief, then states, in reality, it was meant to stop jamming. That flatly contradicts the statement. So the answer is false. Statement 3. Some rival layouts are faster to type on than QWERTY. The passage says rival layouts exist and are praised, but it never compares their typing speed with QWERTY. The moment you start thinking, if they were faster, they would have replaced QWERTY, you are no longer reading the passage. You are adding your own reasoning. Remember our test. Can you point to any words that explicitly say they are not faster? No. The text is completely silent on speed. Not stated is not the same as contradicted. So the answer is not given. Have you seen the pattern? One contradiction you can point to, two silences you can't. Now let's look at a yes, no, not given version. Same trap, but tracking a writer's opinion. Teachers have long assigned homework on the assumption that it boosts achievement. I'm not persuaded. For younger children especially, the evidence of any academic gain is weak, and the cost, lost playtime, family stress, is real. I'm not arguing that homework should be abolished altogether. Rather, that schools should set far less of it and only where it serves a clear purpose. Pause the video again, look closely at the phrasing, and decide if these are yes, no, or not given. Let's break these down. Statement 1. The writer is convinced homework raises achievement. The writer states, "I'm not persuaded." That's a direct textbook contradiction. The answer is no. Statement 2. Homework is the chief source of stress for families. The writer absolutely mentions family stress as a real cost. But do they call it the chief source? No. The statement modifies the writer's view by making it much more extreme. It is unsupported, not contradicted. That means it's not given. Notice how tempting it is to select no just because the claim feels too strong. Statement 3. The writer wants homework abolished completely. The overall tone of the text is highly critical of homework, so it's easy to fall into the trap of agreeing with the statement. But look at the text. The writer says outright, "I'm not arguing that homework should be abolished altogether." You can point directly to the words that disagree. So the answer is a definitive no. Same rule throughout. If you can point to a contradiction, it's no. If you can't, it's not given. You have now seen how to deal with the most common trap in IELTS reading. If you can point to the words that disagree, it's false or no. If the text is silent, it's not given. Not stated never means false. Carry that one simple test into your next practice test. If you found this video helpful, please like the video, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.